How are you today? I want to talk to you about two things. First, your credit score. Second, your credit cards. If you don't know your credit score, then you really need to look. You can go to many websites that will let you see your credit score for free. And your credit score, it helps you to buy a house, to buy a car, or anything where you just don't have all the money yourself and you need help from a creditor. So they're going to look at your credit score and determine if you are a high risk or not. And they do that by checking your credit score. So when you think of your credit score, there's many components to it. You have your credit history, which is the major part of your score. That actually accounts for about 35%. And then you have what is called your debt to income ratio. You have your debt to credit ratio. And I suggest never going over 30% on your credit usage. Reason being, you look like you're desperate, and the creditors will see that in such a manner, and you will appear to be a high risk. Then you have your length of credit history. That accounts for about 15%. And you have your types of credit, which is another 10%. And if you have new credit, that accounts to about 10%. And, all these things add up when the creditors look at your score. So, just for a example of your credit score, if you have a credit score of, say, 760 to 850, you may get a mortgage payment. Let's say you're going to borrow $200,000 and you have a credit score of 760 to 850. You may be able to get a interest rate of, I don't know, about 4%. I'm not sure what they are today, to be honest. So let's go with 4.38% because that's what I did my math on. And if you borrow the $200,000 with good credit at a 4.38% interest rate, then you're going to end up paying over $159,000 in interest. Now, that may sound like a lot hearing it in such a way, but mind you, if you have, say, a credit score of 620 to 640, then you may get an interest rate of 5.9. And at an interest rate of 5.9, you're going to end up paying about $240,000 in interest. So anything less than 620, you're probably not going to get a loan, and you really need to work on your credit score. So with that, think about things when you're looking at your credit. You got to work on your credit score. You got to get it up there if you ever plan on being successful and owning anything of real value. So on the subject number 2 then is credit cards. Credit cards, I know you're like, oh no, they can you either love them or hate them. Credit cards, they can build your credit extremely fast, or they could destroy your credit extremely fast. Both, it all depends on what you do with them. Now, let's say you have a credit card and you want to use it. I mean, you do want to use it because that's going to help you build your credit. So what you can do is make an automatic payment every month to pay off that credit card at the end of every month. So first thing, you do not want to use over 30% of your allowed credit because it makes you look as though you don't have a lot of money and you are a high risk. So don't go over 30%. That will hurt your credit score. Secondly, you want to pay that off at the end of every single month without question. Reason being is the interest. Interest rates are what credit cards love. They love when people don't pay things off. So for example, let's say you buy a computer with your credit card and you have a credit card of $1,500 limit. So you max it out. Now first, like as I said earlier, that is extremely bad for your credit score. And so let's say you buy a computer for $1,500. Now, let's say, and as well, you pay the minimum payment every month. Depending on the credit card, that could be $25, $30, $35. So let's just say, you get a $30 a month minimum payment, I think my math in my head is right. That's going to come out to around 7 years, 7.5 years. And you're going to pay upwards of 560, 590, somewhere in there, dollars in interest on the $1,500 payment. So, just think about it. When you buy your credit, when you buy things on credit cards, think of the fact that you are going to be paying interest if you're not paying it off at the end of the month. So again, let's say you bought the computer for $1,500. You're going to end up paying almost, $2,000, or if not a little over $2,000 for this computer in over 7 years. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't believe I've had a computer that lasted over 7 years. So you're going to be paying for this computer long after it's gone. That is a horrible idea. You do not want to be paying for things that you don't even have anymore. So things you could do to help your credit and your credit cards. If you've had a credit card for a while, you can call your credit company and ask them to increase your rates. But you have to do it tactfully. You can't just call them and say, I'd like to increase my rates. They'll just say no. They have no reason to. So you have to be tactful with them. You have to explain your situation a little bit, to tell them that you've been with them for a very long time and you're getting offers from other credit cards that are giving you a higher limit, a better APR, and things like that, better rewards, and you just want to know what they can do. Believe me, they're going to come back and tell you something more than what they're giving you now. Additionally, when you have them on the phone, ask them to send you all of their rewards that come with your card. Because if let's say you like to travel, you can get a credit card that has frequent flyer miles for every point spent. And then you can use those miles and go places, So just look at what you want. Look at what you like. Find a credit card that gives you that, and then push it. Push them. They'll give you things. There's a lot of credit card companies out there nowadays that are fighting for people to use their card over another, and you just have to call them. One call will save you a tremendous amount of money, and also you'll enjoy the win. You'll feel like you got a great win, and everybody likes to win. So. Just on a recap, I want you to really focus on your credit score. Your credit score is paramount to keeping your interest rates down when you buy something outside of your out-of-pocket expense. And when it comes to your credit cards, again, pay them off every single month. I know it's nice when you think, oh, I don't have the money right now, but I really want this, and you buy it. At the end of the month, you don't have the money to pay off that credit card. Well, now the interest kicks in, and you got to pay a little more. And the next month, you pay the minimum payment. That's not good, because let's say you need to use a credit card again now. You haven't paid off your bill. You have to use a credit card again. Well, now your credit has your amount of credit that you're using has gone up. And if it goes over that 30%, as we discussed earlier, that's going to hurt you. It's just like, becoming overweight. It doesn't happen immediately. It doesn't happen today, overnight, and tomorrow you wake up and your credit's ruined. It happens over time. So, you got to be on top of it. Make sure you pay off those credit cards and watch your credit score grow up. So, until next time, you have a good one and pay those bills. Are you tired of your current situation? I'm setting out on a journey, one that will be difficult at times, but in the end, successful. My name's Giulio. I'm at the Success Matrix. Follow me on this journey and make it your own. Click like, click subscribe, and click that notification bell. I'm going to be putting out new videos every week showing you the steps it takes to become a successful individual.